Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to DCUO Online. I am, of course, Trex, and I am here on Trex Rage. Yes, my Red Lantern tank. Love this little guy. So, we're going to be doing the Operation Mist Recovery. Now, just a little heads up. There are going to be some parts in this video that the speed has been increased by 250%. Reason being is because it was a pretty long instance. And it's a pretty long... okay, it's not completely long. I mean, more or less, the instance is maybe about that 20-minute range. I mean, the part that you're looking at now is... the first part here is actually, of the operation, is in the Metropolis Battle Zone to collect the mist from the different areas. This was actually roughly about 18 minutes long. This is it. I mean, we cleared it to our speed. I mean, we didn't go any faster. We weren't pretty nonchalant about it. Besides the random DPS who ran off on his own. But, I mean, this is it. It was about 18 minutes long. So, shout out to my group member, my two league mates, Maki, our great nature healer, and then Mind Control, our great hard light controller. That's right, you heard it. I think he's hard light. Yep, hard light controller. They're still around, folks. They are still around. And then we have Statesman, who is a fire DPS, as you can see from the Inferno that just hit. So, this first part is we have to help the Green Lanterns. We have to mark the Green Lanterns so they can refill their energy and take down some Sinestro Corps members. And that was in, I want to say that was in the Yellow Mist. No, probably Green Mist. That was probably Green Mist. Now we're going into the Blue Mist, or the Azure Mist. Here we have to fend off more of the Sinestro Corps with these capsules here. We have to take 6 containers over to these designated areas. Now, it does get a little bit tricky. Of course, this is an operation, so you're going to have other groups that are going to be in the area trying to do this as well. But don't worry, if you cap one of these, then you're going to get credit. All right. Remember, you're going to take damage and everything, so you'll take credit if there's other groups around. So when you grab one of these items here to bring over to the area to charge up, pretty much you have the computer there, and then you'll have the actual mist container. Bring both of those to the circles. 3 Sinestro Corps are going to spawn and just take them out. As a tank, you're just going to take them out. So as we're moving along with this, talk a little bit about my loadout as the Rage tank. I am actually using, this is actually not my final, I think this is my final version actually, that I've settled with. First I have Outrage. Now I also want to make note that this was before the adjustments to Severe Punishment and Outrage has hit. This was recorded probably, basically week 1. I'm just finally getting around to actually recording it, or put my voice to it. So we have Outrage. Outrage is I use it more or less as my lunge, but I'm also mainly using it for my Rage Crash Ignore. Alright? My Rage Crash button, which we'll talk about in a moment. My second ability is Violence. I have Violence because it is an AoE, it's a damage AoE, and it also it significantly reduces the Rage Crash. If I'm not able to ignore it, and Violence is activated, the Rage Crash isn't going to do the full amount of damage. It's going to do a small amount. It's going to reduce it. Nice little backup. Now we're over here in the Red Mist. In the Red Mist here, we have to collect the Crimson Mist containers before they're destroyed. And they are going to be destroyed by... and all the civilians here are all full of rage. They're all full of it. All full of anger. You gotta love it. So we have to go over there and stop them from destroying these containers, and then once they're defeated, activate the container, and a Green Lantern will come up and collect them. So back to my loadout. My third ability is Without Mercy. Without Mercy is my mid-range AoE puller. It works just like Backdraft in my opinion, and coming from Fire, it's a great substitution for Backdraft because I love spamming it. Love spamming it. Love it. And I also get heals when it's not spam when I use it. A portion of it comes back. It's nice. My fourth ability is my Rage Inducer, as I like to call it. It is Severe Punishment. Severe Punishment allows me to... I get healed for 8 seconds for all the damage that's coming into me. So all the damage I'm taking with severe punishment activated, all that damage is going to turn into heals. So it kind of like almost negates it, but I get a lot of health back as more hits come about. Now after 8 seconds, I will induce a rage crash, but that's why I have outrage to ignore it, or I have violence to reduce it. So yay to that. Alright, so we are here in the Emerald Mist, and we have to defend the scientists to acquire the Emerald Mist containers. So you will walk up to these containers, you get near it, you touch it, you sneeze on it, red lanterns are going to spawn, and you have to just what? You have to fight them. Even here, you'll have one red lantern fighting you, and then 3 more are going to spawn. Take them out. Just take them out. Alright, back to the loadout. Fifth ability is... it's Ire. That's actually how you pronounce it, Ire. It is basically an instant heal ability, and it's also my breakout for myself and my group members. So it will break us out of any crowd control, anything, and it'll also make us immune for a couple seconds. And then lastly, my 6th ability is my supercharge, Vindictive. This takes about this is the first supercharge that takes a percentage of your supercharge over time and gives you heals. And it also works as a ignore for Rage Crash. So if you activate Severe Punishment, you are literally getting knocked down because of some AoE or whatever or actually some crowd control going on, and you're being knocked down. You can't activate Outrage. You can't activate your Violence. Well, luckily, time it right, you're going to activate your Vindictive, and you're going to ignore your Rage Crash. So good. So much fun. So much fun. Alright, so now that we're done with the first part of the operation here, now we're heading over to Star Labs to go into the next part of the operation, where we actually get to fight some bosses. That's the one thing I love about it. We actually get to fight some bosses finally. Now, that was really my only really twerk with this operation is the mist recovery part in the battle zone. For story purposes, you understand what's going on in there. You have to go and collect the mists. It was really a little bit of a bore. It really, that was 18 minutes we took doing all that. Getting to this first boss was 18 minutes. It's kind of rough. So here we go. Fearsome Scarecrow. This first boss in Star Labs will actually differ. You'll actually, for the heroes, we'll actually get Fearsome Scarecrow, or Furious Metallo, or Furious Ursa, or Furious Mannheim, or Furious Grodd. For the villains, I'm not really sure what you get, but this first boss in Star Labs is going to be the random. Alright, so for Fearsome Scarecrow, he uses a Fear Gas that will do some damage and also stun. He uses a Construct Scythe that works as the two-handed weapon, and it has the weapon combos, like you saw, swinging around, doing the range stuff, and he'll also do the cool little spin attack that two-handers do as well. He is accessible to the combat mechanics. All right, so you can block them, you can block break them, all that good stuff. And then last but not least, he also does gas bombs, where he'll just throw a bomb to someone in the back, pretty much behind you, and you'll just throw them to the ground. But Fearsome Scarecrow was actually possibly the easier one. I have not met Furious Ursa. Furious Grodd was a little bit of a toughie. Furious Metallo, a little bit of a toughie. And I haven't seen Mannheim. So Grodd, in my opinion, is probably the one you need to watch out for. Because once we get to that video a little bit later, on another time, I'll show you that fight. So once you're done with the Fearsome Scarecrow, which, by the way, Blackest Night, we just have to go into the next room, take care of some mobs here, and we see, yes, Kyle Rayner is here with us. Nice guy. We're doing all the work, but I try to be as supportive as possible. Even though I just want to throw blood on him. Just all that throw up of blood. So, this next room is the actual next boss fight with Almond Sir. Now, there is the objective in this room, as you see on your side over there. You defeat the Sinestro Corpsmen, there's 3 to start off with, and then there's going to be 4 Manhunters, okay? 4 Manhunters coming from both sides of the room or at the doors, okay? Both doors, the one you enter from and the one across the room from it. So, these manhunters cannot capture the mist containers. They cannot. If they capture all 6 of them, then they're going to pretty much buff Almond, and it's going to get really tough. At least that's what I'm told. I haven't been able to do that yet because everyone doesn't follow my directions when I'm wanting to do stuff. But anyways, that's what I was told. He pretty much, Almond gets really buffed and becomes a little bit harder to defeat. So, as a tank, you want to try and stay in the center of the room and capture the corpsmen right there. And as the manhunters fly past you, if the DPS or controller has not gotten to them, you can pick them up with your AoE or with your taunt or with your pull, whatever. Pull them towards you, they need to go down. Alright? So, there'll much be, I think it spawns 4 at a time. So, you'll have 4 that spawn together, and the DPS and the controller just needs to take them out over at the doors or just bring them closer to the tank to bring them in and AoE them down. They go down really easy, so it's not going to be too much of a work for anybody. So, after you defeat the corpsman, Almond, as you see, he's now in the fight. He will join the fight, and he will also summon his Nightmare Construct. That really just becomes a pain, as you just saw. He'll just do some random crowd control stuff, just knock us in the air, and just be a pain in the butt. Kyle Rayner pretty much tanks him. I mean, it's not like he's going to do any damage, but I mean, Kyle Rayner and Almond really go butt heads a lot. But the tank still needs to try and keep the aggro on him. Make sure, and the Kyle, of course, is getting heals, so it's not like it's going to matter. Now, here is the strategy with this fight. Alright, 1, it's not a race. This isn't like an arranged time or anything. The strategy is, when the manhunters are up, if a manhunter is up, the manhunter needs to be burnt down, alright? You can go ahead and split the rooms off if you want to. One side's controller, one side's the DPS. Healer is somewhere in the middle, making sure they can get everyone that they need to be. So the manhunters have to go down first. You don't want them to capture the mist container. At the same time, you don't want them to capture the mist container because you might get a feat. You'll get a feat if they don't capture any of them. That'll be nice, right? You want a feat. You want the feats. So manhunters first, and then once the manhunters are down, you go over to Almond. Now, once the manhunters are back up, you go back to the manhunters. Again, it's not a race. This is a fight about strategy. Manhunters first, then Almond. When the manhunters pop up, boom, go back to Almond. It's a back and forth, and I'm really happy with our team because they were able to pop it. Pop it and lock it, shut it down. Sometimes, as you see, the manhunters creeped away a little bit, but I mean, sooner or later, it's like you just want to burn Almond once it gets down to a certain point, right? You're right. But, I mean, literally, that's the strategy. Manhunters first, and then Almond. That is your boss fight. Again, you'll get a feat if the manhunters capture no containers. And if the manhunter is able to capture all 6 of them, Almond gets buffed and does, apparently, wicked damage. And at the same time, with the rage tanking, this was the same roundabout that the aggro issues were happening as well. Now, as you also see, we had all the containers pretty much in a conformed area, so it became easier. The manhunters are going to fly towards us. That's another good strategy to have as well. Have all the containers in one focused corner, and then the manhunters can come following down there, and that'll be simple and done. That's what you're looking for. Alright, so I'm sure should be going down in a moment. There you go. No mistake. Got the feat. Trexy gets feats. It's awesome. Alright, so after the Almond fight, oh, by the way, there is a briefing up here. If I can ever get there. But you know, it's... Alright, there you go. There's the briefing. Yay, briefing. Alright, so next, we have to teleport to Mogo. Yes. We get to talk a little bit about, with Mogo, we talk to Mogo. Or Mogo really talks to Kyle Rayner, really. And we figure out what the purpose of the myths are. And then Hank Henshaw breaks in. Mogo, oh no, we're getting invaded by the Sinestro Corps. It's not my fault. So, the Sinestro Corps are coming in, and we have to defend it. Kyle Rayner was actually nice enough to ask Mogo for a little bit of assistance, but, like, fix the gravity, but that'll affect us too somehow, so he didn't want to do that. So instead, he created like these nice little turrets to take care of business, and this is like one big room that has a rage tank you're going to love. I'm not even sure how high my health pool got, but I'm sure it was wicked high. Wicked high. So, after we clear the room, Kyle Rayner becomes a Blue Lantern. So all the geekiness in my system just came all through fruition. Alright, so here's the last boss. It actually is 3 bosses. You have Hank Henshaw, the Manhunter Enforcer, and Commander Jesse. So, here is the strat. I know you guys want to hear the strat. In this fight, it's a random draw of luck or whatever. But either Manhunter or Jesse are going to be assigned to attack the turrets, okay? If one of them is attacking, in this fight, actually, Jesse, as you see, he just shielded up, is going to attack the turrets and try to turn the turrets over to the yellow side, because they're all green right now. He's going to try to infect it, turn it to their side. So, Manhunter Enforcer does it as well. It just depends on how your run, it's just a luck of the draw. Manhunter Enforcer could have been doing it, and Jesse could have just been attacking us. So, yes, as you see, there's one turret that got changed over because we're ignoring Jesse completely because we're trying to go for a feat. There is a feat that if you let Jesse or the Manhunter, if you let all 4 turrets turn yellow, you'll get part of the feat. When you run it again, if you let no turrets get turned over to yellow, then you'll get the other part of the feat, and you'll get the incomplete feat. Yay! So, in this fight, we didn't do this because we tried to go for the feat, but in normal circumstances, with Commander Jesse, since he's the one attacking turrets, that's the first one you want to burn down, because you don't want him turning the turrets, just to help you out a little bit. So, when Jesse has a shield up, you do not want to attack that shield. You'll get the damage right back to you, and that's a bad thing. So, take Jesse down. When he's shielded up, don't attack him. Focus on Manhunter or Hank. But when the shield's down, focus all your attention on that. He needs to go down badly. So, and then Manhunter Enforcer during this fight, since he's not attacking the turret, he is just attacking you with Hank Henshaw. So you just have both of those going. After you take out Commander Jesse with the turret, Manhunter Enforcer, because you're doing some damage to him as well, should be close to going down as well. So you can focus on him. And then once either Enforcer or Jesse go down, Hank Henshaw needs to go down next. Hank Henshaw can be your first one to go down. He can be your last one to go down. I have not seen an issue where there's really a difference. I haven't found it where if Hank comes back up, if both of them are still alive. So as you see, each one's going down momentarily. None of the other ones are coming back up. With Hank, he'll go over and attack a turret as well, but he's not really going to do much damage. He's just not. But he'll randomly charge, fly straight into someone, knock them back a little bit. Just be prepared for that. And he'll also do some squiggly line AoE that we've seen in the fight as well. I don't know what it is. It just hurts a little bit. But there you go. That's Mist Recovery. It's really fun. If you